Welcome back, guys, to another video on the channel. I hope you guys are well. Today, I want to talk about why I believe David Moyes deserves a new contract at West Ham. But before we get into it, guys, subscribe for new West Ham videos. Maybe you're a West Ham fan, consider subscribing, and also like the video if you don't mind. It helps the video out a lot. And also get your comments down below, because this could be controversial to some West Ham fans. However, the reason why I want to talk about this topic is because I saw a tweet going around West Ham Twitter yesterday regarding players and staff who were out of contract at the end of this season. And as you know, I'm looking through the replies because I'm curious. I'm curious to know and to see what the fan base and what their opinions are. And basically, this thread was essentially asking people who would they keep, who would they get rid of, who would they release. And a lot of people went, I want David Moyes gone at the end of the season. Right, with no justification, no reason why, just this is who I'd keep. I'd give Noble another year contract and I'd get rid of Moyes. And I was thinking about it again, when are we as a fan base actually going to start putting some respect on David Moyes' name? Because he's come into this team twice now. He's come to this club twice and he's helped us out massively. And I do want to get onto the cons of David Moyes and obviously the positives that he's trying to do at West Ham, because you know, in my opinion, he does deserve a lot more respect. However, right, let's look at potential replacements if he was going to leave West Ham. The most unrealistic name I've heard so far, Mauricio Pochettino, never going to happen. Sam Allardyce, right, never going to happen. Never going to work for the owners again. The most realistic one, probably out of all the managers that are possibly available, Eddie Howe. Whilst he had a very good tenure at Bournemouth, right now, I do not think he's the right man for the job, right, for the next 1 or 2 seasons. I don't think he's the right man for the job. As well as that, the one person that we were linked with in the past and has been linked with coming back to the Premier League is Rafa Benitez. Will West Ham make the same mistake by going to someone who has left the Premier League to join a team in China for external motivations, such as money? Will he have the same hunger and motivation if he was ever to come to the Premier League? And I'm hoping that West Ham, if they ever thought about replacing David Moyes in the future and not give him a new contract, and we went down that Rafa Benitez route, hopefully whoever's the owners, whether it's Sullivan, Gold, Brady, new owners, they would have learned from previous mistakes. Now, I want to talk about why I believe David Moyes is the right man for the job right now. And I think we are seeing it more in football now, more than ever, right? The philosophy of sacking managers and getting instant success is sort of slowly drifting out the game, okay? You see the managers who are at the top, Jurgen Klopp, for example, building a team who's been building a team for 5 seasons. And I know you guys have been saying, might say, well, he's had the financial backing. West Ham will never get that kind of financial backing. Look at Graham Potter at Brighton on the other end of the spectrum. Okay, Graham Potter, Brighton are playing a very nice brand of football. You can sort of see that style of play. Passing out from the back, likes to receive the ball in tight areas. And of course, what will happen? As every single season or transfer window comes by, they will recruit 1 or 2 players that will match the philosophy of that team. And I can see that. We can see, in my opinion, the start of the foundations, the bricklaying that David Moyes is trying to implement in this team. Yes, there's going to be frailties. In my opinion, he wants to build a team that works hard for each other. Okay, very well organised in defence. However, you will also have to remember that David Moyes right now doesn't have his squad. He has signed Thomas Soucek, he has signed Kufal, he has signed Bowen. As well as that, he has just signed Ben Rama, which, you know, we haven't seen of him yet. However, if you look at his team, this squad is just loads of players from the Bilic era and the Pellegrini era. This isn't Moyes' squad. And what he's doing, he's working with this squad to sort of try and implement his style of play. A team, as I said, a team that works hard for each other, a team that wants to try, a team, you know, that's well organised in defence, very good at defending. And whilst, yes, we picked up 2 fantastic clean sheets against Wolves and Leicester, we did see sort of the cracks as well. And that is the thing right now with West Ham. As we do go along this journey with David Moyes, we are going to get those kind of results or games where we can see 2 or 3 goals and we look absolutely a shambles defensively. We are going to get those kind of games. We looked like that in the first half, where sort of the cracks appeared in the defence, playing a 5-back formation. when Tottenham were winning 3-0. However, the other side of that, flipping the coin, okay, the work ethic of that team, and this is the first time I've felt since Slaven Bilic's first season that when we are 1 or 2 goals down, that I know that this team will at least try and get back into the game. Under Pellegrini, we used to fold. Wolves away. The amount of times that we used to go to Wolves away, 2 or 3-0 down, or any other team at home or away, we're 2 or 3 goals down and we just used to fold. There was no intention to get back into the game. All the players were running through the motions, right? And what you can see with this team is that David Moyes is building a team based off work ethic, but also a team that wants to run for him. You've only got to look at Declan Rice's goal against Watford. He bangs a goal in, fantastic long-range shot to put us 3-0 up. He runs over to David Moyes. And it does look like the team are playing for David Moyes. They want to work hard for him. They do enjoy his way of managing, maybe his man management. And I feel like, David Moyes, whilst he's not the most extravagant name out there, okay, David Moyes, when other teams have got, better names, for example, like Ralph Hussenthal at Southampton, okay? It's a lot more attractive name than David Moyes. However, I just feel like West Ham fans, and I'm just putting a little bit of disrespect. And I suppose the cons, let's talk about the cons of David Moyes right now. Because I think it's fair to say that when he first come in to the club, like at his beginning of his second tenure, we weren't all happy. It showed... it showed an appointment of no ambition. However, you cannot say to me that this guy at the moment, whilst it can all change, okay? We had a very good start to last season under Pellegrini. It all fell apart, right? However, I see at the moment a team that's willing to work hard for each other. And you can't tell me at the moment that David Moyes right now is not the right man. I think he's the right man for West Ham. What we need. This club needs stability right now. We have been at the Olympic Stadium, for 5 seasons? We've had 3 different managers, 2 being the same, the same guy, David Moyes. Bilic, Pellegrini, Moyes, Pellegrini. No. What? Bilic, Moyes, Pellegrini, Moyes. There we go. I got it wrong. But yeah, this club needs stability. We need to build, a style of play. And I think football in general is going away from that. You're starting to see, the team that David Moyes wants to stamp on. And this team may only continue improving under his regime. A couple more transfer windows when he addresses the defensive issues and he's got money to play with the defence. Because at the moment, he's sort of bringing in, sort of a backup in Craig Dawson. Okay, he's bringing a backup in Craig Dawson. Is Craig Dawson his long-term plans? No. He's not his long-term plans. He's already stressed, that he wants a team that's hungry, that's young, that are willing to prove themselves in the Premier League. And we've got that with Bowen. We might hopefully see that with Ben Rama. He is trying to build something at West Ham, and I feel like, he needs to be given and be allowed the time. Now, let's talk about the cons that I was saying about David Moyes. Yes, every manager has their faults. Every single manager has their faults. David Moyes in particular, yes, he could be a little bit stubborn in when to make changes, leaving them too late into the game. Yes, I get that. Can be a little bit stubborn in the transfer market. Is called Divering Dave, apparently for a reason. Is a little bit up in the air. Oh, should I do this? Should I do this? Or should I not do it? However, you can also flip that on his head and be like, that's probably a good thing as well. Whilst it is a bad thing, it is a good thing. Because he wants to bring the right characters to West Ham. Yes, you have to have the technical ability, right, to maybe, for a certain position. But you've also got to have, at first, at least, the work rate, to work in a David Moyes team. When your opposition, if you're playing on a wing like Bowen and your opposition, your fullback on your side needs help, you've got to be willing to run for him. You've got to be able to run for him. And that is what I feel like he's been. But there's faults with every manager. It's not just David Moyes. Whilst, yes, he has got his faults. Look at Jurgen Klopp, for example. Yes, he's won the Premier League. He's won the Champions League, right? And in my opinion, he's probably the best manager in the world right now. However, tactical stubbornness comes in to play with Liverpool. It was clear to see for everyone against Aston Villa that Liverpool were playing a too high line. They were kept getting caught out, right, with a high line, and he didn't change it. Right, he left playing the high line and they got punished for it. When you could probably see in the first goal or the second goal that let's not play out the back with Adrian. Let's not play a high line. Every manager does it, even the world's best. So whilst Moyes, yes, does have his faults, I feel like he's building a team here right now that, that are going to work hard for each other. And as I said, this is the first time I felt since Slaven Bilic that if we are 1 or 2 goals down, that through sheer hard work and work ethic, that this team could possibly get back into games when from losing positions. Maybe that's just me, but for me, West Ham should give David Moyes a new contract. Maybe leave it till January, see how we go up until then, because I know what West Ham are like in general. We have been playing very well, you know, against the big teams. I predicted 2 points out of our first 7 games. We've got 7 points at the moment, and we've still got to play Man City at home and Liverpool away. So any kind of bonus points from there. But then we've got Fulham and Sheffield United, and that is where West Ham then sort of just go downhill against teams that we realistically should be picking up points against. So whilst it all could go downhill from this video, you know, I feel like West Ham right now, David Moyes is the man we need to build something. Give him the time to build his own team, because there's a lot of players here that he clearly doesn't rate. He doesn't rate Balbuena, despite him playing lately. He doesn't rate Balbuena, you know. Apart from the 4 signings that I mentioned, this isn't a David Moyes team or squad. There's a lot of, you know, players from the Bilic and Pellegrini era. So that's my thoughts. Why David Moyes deserves a new contract. Give him the time. I'm very happy with him right now. You know, whilst, yes, there's maybe more attractive names such as Eddie Howe, such as Rafa Benitez, at the end of the day, they all represent a gamble. Okay? Right now, the gamble that we brought in, you know, David Moyes again, maybe because it was a cheap option, yes, granted, but right now it's paying off. Let's stick with him. Let's give him the time to build his own team, unless, of course, we're on the verge of relegation. That's when you sort of probably would change the manager. But given the time, you know, that's what I think we should be doing. Guys, make sure you leave a like on the video. Comment down below your opinions regarding my views. Do you agree? Do you disagree? Make sure you subscribe for more West Ham content. I'll catch you later.